Hi everyone. As regular watchers of my channel will no doubt know by now, I have serious questions about the white helmets in Syria. This supposedly saintly organisation that is helping the people of Syria. But I have multiple questions about them, such as why is it whenever an area is liberated from these so-called moderate rebels, that whenever reporters ask the Syrian people about these white helmets, they don't know who they are, but then when you show them pictures of them, they say they're terrorists. I've covered multiple stories on these, multiple stories such as people such as Carla Ortiz and many others, Vanessa Beeley, Eva Bartlett. There are multiple reports of the Syrian people saying these are terrorists, these white helmets. But the question doesn't stop there. Why are there so many pictures of ISIS holding, white helmets holding ISIS flags or Al Qaeda flags or Al Nusra flags or Army of Islam or being embedded in Army of Islam? Why are there so many pictures on social media of these so-called saintly white helmets who Boris Johnson said were so brave and courageous? Why is it that there are pictures of them standing on the bodies of Syrian soldiers? Why is it that there are videos of them aiding and abetting in terrorist executions? Why is it whenever places like Douma and places like Aleppo are taken from the control of these so-called moderate rebels, that the White Helmets headquarters are literally within feet of the headquarters of either al-Nusra or ISIS or Army of Islam, so they're embedded in with the terrorists? There are serious questions to be asked here, especially considering the amount of money that is funding them through the UK government and the US government. Remember, that is public money. There are lots of questions about them, so much so that I started a petition. If you haven't signed it yet, and if you're in the UK and you haven't signed it, please, I'll leave a link down to it down there. Don't just sign it, please share it. If you're in the US, if you're anywhere else, please just share it as widely as you possibly can. It needs more signatures. We need at least 10,000. It hasn't even reached 1,000 yet, so I'm really disappointed, to be quite honest. I'd really love somebody, with a lot of stature or a big social media following to tweet that petition out. Anyway, there's a story that I noticed over the weekend that I've only just got around to do with the absolute debacle of news that's been thrown at us in the last few days. But I noticed this. This is from CNN. Excuse me. Sorry about that. This is from CNN. United States and allies are discussing evacuating rescue group from Syria. And they're talking about the white helmets here. The article says, as the Syrian government recaptures increasing amounts of territory in the southwest and other regions of the country, Western allies have grown increasingly concerned about the safety of a group of unarmed volunteer rescue workers known as the White Helmets. The fate of some 1,000 volunteers and their family members, and the need to plan a possible evacuation for them, has become a focus of discussion of several countries, including the United States, United Kingdom, France and Canada, according to a diplomatic source familiar with the subject and two administration officials. In the plans under discussion, the volunteer rescue workers, who are officially named the Syrian Civil Defence, that's BS. There was already an organisation that's been around for decades called the Syrian Civil Defence. They literally just rebranded them and took over that brand. The article continues, named the Syrian Civil Defence would be resettled in several countries. I'll read that again. In the plans under discussion, the volunteer rescue workers, who are officially named the Syrian Civil Defence, would be resettled in several countries. Two diplomatic sources mentioned the possibility of resettling some of the group in Canada and the United Kingdom, while another two sources said Germany is expected to take some rescuers. Oh my word, I say. President Donald Trump discussed the possible need to evacuate members of the group during his meetings at the NATO summit last week. A source confirmed there were several conversations between the US and UK about the issue during the summit, the source said, adding that Western delegations have convinced the US to help lobby both Israel and Jordan to find escape routes for the besieged rescuers. CBS News first reported the discussions about the possible evacuation plans. The group declined to comment to CNN on Sunday. Right, I'm going to ask the most obvious questions here. It's the most obvious questions. If the white helmets are what the authorities say they are, if they are this rescue group that's working on behalf of the Syrian people, why would their lives be in danger? If they're helping the Syrian people, why would their lives be in danger? There was a great sort of short documentary put together by Carla Ortiz, and she talked about the white helmets. I know I've shown this before. I'm just going to show a clip. Just take a look at this, what she said about what the Syrian people say about the white helmets. I think actually this wasn't from her documentary. This was from her interview on the Jimmy Dore Show.
I saw the actual corridors that the Syrian army were forming with their bodies in order for people and civilians to live. I have documented all this. I've done some live videos about it. And as people were leaving, I was dumb enough at the time, with my innocence, I wanted to interview the famous white helmets, the people that were saving them. First of all, in Aleppo, nobody knew them because they were saying like, no, who are they? We don't know who they are. When I start showing them pictures, they'll say, oh, they're terrorists, Daesh. They work with al-Nusra. And they'll say, yes, they are the civil defense, but of the armed groups. And they said like, they're together, they work together.
So as you can see there, Carla is saying there that she's asked the people who are coming out of Aleppo when Aleppo was liberated, what about the white helmets? They say we don't know what the white helmets are. They show the pictures of their uniforms and they say they're working for the terrorists. They help the terrorists, not the people. Could that explain why their lives are now in danger? Because if they're working for the people, why would their lives be in danger after the Syrian army had basically got these terrorists out of Daraa and southwestern Syria? Just think about that. I've thought about it a lot. It's an obvious question. Why are their lives in danger? The article continues anyway. Both the Syrian and the Russian governments have labelled the group terrorists, a designation that the international community and the rescuers themselves have rejected. Oh, well, what a shock. ISIS and Al-Qaeda would reject being called terrorist, for crying out loud. The safety of the white helmet could be one of the topics Trump and Russian President Vladimir Putin discussed in their summit on Monday, which was yesterday. The source confirmed, although there is some concern about whether Moscow can be trusted on the issue. Can't stop with the red baiting either on this. One administration official said asking Russia for help is a non-starter because the Russians in the past month have been fueling the narrative that the white helmets are terrorists and going after the residents. Not just the Russians. CNN, this is arse gravy. It really is. It's not just the Russians. If you're going to report on something, report on it factually and give all the information. It's not just the Syrians and the Russians who are saying, the Syrian government and the Russian government that are saying these people are terrorists. The Syrian people that are being asked are saying that these are terrorists. It's not just the governments. Give the facts, CNN, you pile of absolute garbage. Western countries hope to find a way to help the group leave Syria without Russia's aid, the diplomatic source said. They are looking at various possibilities for ground evacuation, but all of them are difficult and negotiations are at a sensitive stage, the source said. Syria has recently mounted a military offensive in the country's southwest, which is a major complicating factor. Yeah, and remember that before they mounted that offensive, as I covered and many others covered, before they mounted that offensive, the US and the UK were saying, don't do this, they were trying to protect these moderate rebels in that area. They went in, the Syrian army went in, and they literally capitulated overnight, and now the area was taken back. And now they're saying the White Helmets' lives are in danger. If they were working for the people and they were helping the people after ISIS strikes by ISIS and Al-Qaeda, and strikes by Syria as well, that maybe killed or hurt residents, as Sam Harris would say, collateral damage. It happens. It happens with the UK. It happens with America. America, I believe, killed 54 civilians in an airstrike in Syria very recently, as this shows. So it happens all the time. So they're not helping. The Syrian civilians are saying they're not helping them. It falls in with what I've been saying all along. Their lives would not be in danger. Why would their lives be in danger? Why would their lives be in danger if they were helping the Syrian people? Why? And I just want to go back to that one paragraph, because that's frightening. It's frightening. I'm in the UK, and if you're in Canada or Germany as well, I think you should be frightened if you've seen the videos and the information I have, or you've seen any of my videos. It says, that paragraph says this: in the plans under discussion, the volunteer rescue workers who were officially named the Syrian Civil Defence would be resettled in several countries. Two diplomatic sources mentioned the possibility of resettling some of the group in Canada and the United Kingdom, while another two sources said Germany is expected to take some rescuers. If one of those White Helmets end up being resettled as one of my neighbours, I'm going to have some serious questions to ask. I already have. I'm going to be pissed if that happens. Like I say, it's an obvious question, and it's one which you wouldn't expect the arse gravy of a news outlet like CNN to ask. And I've read the CBS article, and they didn't ask it either. Why are their lives in danger if they're helping the Syrian people? Why? I think you know the answer to that. If you've seen my videos, I think you know the answer to that. Please, as I said, I'll leave a link to my petition down there. If you're in the UK, please sign it, please share it. Please share my videos on it as well. I'll leave the links to all the videos I've done on the White Helmets down there as well, so you've got some context if you haven't seen it before. There are serious questions that have got to be asked before any more public money goes to them. This is public taxpayer money that's going to these operations. We need to find out exactly whose side they're on before they get another penny, as far as I'm concerned. And I'm pretty sure that anybody who's seen my videos or seen any videos like it will agree with me. If you enjoyed this video, please click the bell down there and subscribe, so you get a notification of next time I drop a video. Also, I can't do this without your help, so if you can afford it and you enjoy my videos, please support the channel by subscribing to my Patreon. Link is down there. You can do it for as little as $1 a month, and it really does help. If you can't afford it, that's fine. Please share my work and talk to other people about the issues that I bring up. Thanks very much for your support. Until next time, peace and take care.